I think Michigan is one of the most underrated states in the country. A lot of people say that, like, if you're from Michigan, you love it, and that's it. And after going there and seeing, like, a lot of the feedback we've gotten from our trip so far, that's totally the case.
This is kind of crazy coming from a die-hard Buckeyes fan.
Yes, but there's a difference between the football team and the beauty of the state for why we went.
Yeah.
So the reason we went is because the Upper Peninsula is supposed to have, like, the bluest water, like, in the Midwest. And a lot of people refer to it as the Caribbean of the North. And so we wanted to go see that for ourselves. And what do you think? Do you think that statement held true?
Arguably, it's probably better than the Caribbean.
I know. I even said that when we were there. I was like, I've been to the Caribbean, and this water is way bluer than that. Like, we went to Torch Lake, and that was just incredible. I'm sad we didn't get to swim in it that much, but we swam in a couple other places, which was pretty cool, and we'll get into that here in a second. But Michigan totally needs to be on your bucket list, and you will probably see why here in the next few minutes. So we like to do our trips in either a long weekend, or a weekend, or with some of our bigger trips, we do take a full week. But in this instance, this is where we decided it was probably just best to take one day off of work for Riley, and then spend 3 days up in Michigan.
I'm a girl working with limited PTO, get 15 days a year unless I start working weekends. So Fridays, typically for me, are the best days to take off, solely because we could leave on Thursday night. We're open to always leaving late night. I think that a lot of people, when you shut your brain off to the idea of leaving right after work, just know that you're limiting your adventures later on. And I think that's really awesome to be able to kind of just have everything pre-packed on a Wednesday, come home from work, grab something to go for food or stop at a restaurant you love and eat and start driving.
Yeah, so that's what we do. My job basically is, since like I'm at home most of the time while Riley's at work, is like I'll pack the car and everything, get all the food prepped, all the snacks, get all that ready. And so Thursday, whenever I was picking up Riley after work, it's about, 30 to 35 minutes from where we live to your job?
Yes.
All right, so it's about a 35-minute drive, and I'm probably like 20 minutes into this drive Thursday afternoon around like 4:45, 5 o'clock, and I'm like, shoot, I totally forgot blankets for this. Because we do a lot of car camping, and so all we really bring is like our air mattress and either our sleeping bags or a blanket. And since it was supposed to be like really hot this weekend, I was like, I'm not bringing my sleeping bag.
No.
And so I was like, let's just bring a blanket. That way we have it if we need it. And my bright self forgot it.
Well, which we luckily bought fans for the car camping weekend because it was going to be 90 plus degrees.
Yeah.
And the way that we car camp, I drive a Nissan Murano. So the car is pretty bigger SUV type deal. We have a custom, I use that air quotes, because it's just from Amazon, car air mattress built for the car. Put the back seats down, move whatever else from the trunk into the front seats, and Trevor and I get to sprawl out. So I was totally on board with the idea of no sleeping bags because, oh my God, it was hot.
It was beyond hot. It was like, it was miserable.
We'll totally get into that. And so when I got in the car, Trevor was like, all right, you get a new blanket tonight.
Oh, no, the way I said it, I was like, I have good news and bad news. Which one do you want first? And Riley goes, the bad news. And I was like, I forgot the blanket. And she's like, all right, what's the good news? And I was like, you get another birthday present.
My birthday was in June. It is now August.
So, we'll make it count.
It worked.
And so once we leave Cleveland, we picked up Barrio, which is one of our favorite like taco places in the area. And we actually found out there's one in Traverse City, which is where we were just heading to.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, we could have gotten it at the start or end of our drive. But I picked up Riley, we got Barrio, and we are a couple hours, or maybe not even an hour into our drive. And Riley looks at me and she goes, did you bring the window covers? And I just like face palmed and I was like, nope, I totally forgot them. So
this is where we cheap out, though, on our car camping expense.
Yeah, like
because you can buy window covers from Amazon where you put the window down and it does all this stuff. Our window covers were DIY'd by Trevor with Amazon boxes.
Yeah, it's just Amazon cardboard boxes. Like I just cut out to like fit the window in our Riley's car.
And they all have letters on them. They have an A side or a B side.
So you know which ones are for the front and which ones are the back and like which way they face.
Yeah. And then I have just one of those typical sun reflectors up on the front.
Yeah.
And we usually just rock it like that. It's
and our rear windshield is just open. So we usually like back into places. So like the darkest spot will be like the way our back is facing. Mm-hmm. But the reason we car camp is because like we like to save as much time as possible when we're traveling. And so like literally just getting out of your car and driving saves so much time compared to like waking up, getting yourself out of a tent, tearing the tent down, putting it in the car, then getting in your car and going. So it saves us, like probably 30 minutes each morning, and then at night putting it back up.
Trevor and I always are doing sunrise, sunset. So for us, yes, that time saving is huge. For those who want comfort, I would say err on the side of caution. This is not for everybody. You kind of have to expect not to have to use the restroom in the middle of the night. We try to sleep at like Walmarts or at tents or free lands that we can camp on. Freecampsites.net, I think.
There's a bunch of different ones.
Website to find
The Dirt
stuff.
is one
the Dirt
we use
is
a
a really
lot.
great one. So keep that in mind when we talk about how we're saving money car camping.
Yeah, there's sacrifice that goes into saving money. So Thursday, we drive 6 hours from Cleveland up to Traverse City, and we were sleeping at a Walmart there. So I think we got in around like 10:30 or so, right?
Oh, it was closer to 11 because the Walmart was closing in 30 minutes. They were doing the announcements.
Yeah, so 10:30, 30 minutes, then it's 11. Mm-hmm. So we show up around like 10:40, we'll say. And so I was like, all right, Riley, let's go get your blanket. So luckily we were going to a Walmart anyway, so we were able to go get that blanket that we needed that I forgot.
Which I'm a big fuzzy blanket fan, so I had no issues with buying yet another fuzzy blanket.
Yeah, so what, we have like 6 now?
Yeah.
We have so many. But like buying a new one's so nice because like it's so soft and fluffy compared to like after you wash the one for a couple times. Oh my gosh.
One of them that we have, I think it's almost time for it to be retired.
Time to retire it. Is it the hedgehog one?
No, not that one yet.
Which one is it?
It's the big fluffy one that we have in the living room. That's
Oh, I got you. Like the whitish gray one.
Yeah, that one's a little yucky.
It's not yucky. It's just used.
Loved.
It was loved. So, after sleeping in a Walmart parking lot, we wake up Friday morning, and we were planning to do sunrise at Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. So, if you've never heard of Sleeping Bear Dunes, you've probably heard of the dune climb. And so, what it is like, it's just like a sand dune, it goes all the way down into Lake Michigan, but it's about 400 feet of elevation, like down to the lake. And so there's a sign right before you go down that says, like, caution, going down is optional. It's a $3,000 helicopter ride up if you get stuck down there.
Which is more expensive than the $100 helicopter ride in Havasupai.
Yeah, so, right.
$3,000 rescue if you can't drag yourself back up this 400 elevation.
And so going into this, like, we didn't really have the intention of doing that climb because like we have like a jam-packed weekend. We didn't want to kill ourselves for all the activities and driving we had planned.
And it's also a part of the National Lakeshore, and when you do go down on it, you are potentially damaging the lakeshore itself.
Right.
And so there's that on top of the fact that you're going to get your butt kicked with elevation gain.
Yeah, so we try to be mindful about things like that. And, like, if we really want to go do it, like, we can pick a weekend sometime and go do it. Like, it's a 6-hour drive from here, which it might sound a lot to some of you, but, like, I promise if you drive all the time, like Riley and I do, like, a 6-hour drive is nothing. So, with that, we woke up, went to go see Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, and there's, like, a overlook, like a boardwalk overlook that we wanted to go see, overlooking Lake Michigan. I think it was called just the Lake Michigan Overlook, right?
Yes. And the way the park is set up is it's a continuous loop. So when you enter the park, you're stuck on a full loop that you have to do all the way around. So it starts with like stops 1, 2, 3, and it continues. And this overlook was stop 10, 9 or 10.
9 or 10, I think.
So we had a pretty good drive in to see and get to this spot to begin with.
Yeah. I was so set on like seeing this boardwalk for sunrise because I was like it was in the perfect spot for the way the sun was coming up at the right angle. So I was like, we're going to get this golden glow like right on the boardwalk with all the blue water in the background. It's going to be beautiful.
And a lot of the trips that we go on, we do ideation from visuals. Like, we're on Instagram, we're seeing, like, epic
and
photos
a lot of the times,
and really cool pictures. And that was one of the photos that I distinctly remember when you were pitching, hey, let's go to Michigan this summer. And I was like, wow, that looked beautiful.
Yeah, and so I like to get on Google Earth a lot and like scout out these areas too, so I can find like how to get somewhere like from the parking lot and like how far it is, what I need to know beforehand and all that. And I was on Google Earth and I was like, it's right here. It's like right next to the parking lot. And so as we get there in the morning, we're like walking around and we're like,
it's still a little dark because it's sunrise. So
Yeah.
you're in the blue hour of the morning. And so you kind of only can see like 30 feet in front of you. So Trevor's blind usually in the mornings. Did you have your glasses on or in or
I have
contacts?
my contacts in,
Okay.
yeah.
But most of the time I see something first before Trevor sees it. So
I'm not a morning person. Like I'm still waking up like 2 hours into my day.
but so we're walking around and you walk up and it's the 400-foot climb sand dune down to Lake Michigan, and then there's about 2 paths you can go. You can go up more on a sand dune, or you can kind of mosey around the lake shoreline without going all the way down. So we start to make our way down the left side, which is still beautiful. Like you could see all the way down the lake shore, and it was just really gorgeous. And I look at Trevor and I said, I don't think it's right here. I don't know where it's at.
And I'm like scrambling on my phone trying to like look up like on Google Maps and stuff like where the stuff is, and like there's no service
it's
there.
just going in and out.
It's either like no service or even like 1 bar of 5G, which 1 bar of 5G is way worse than like 1 bar of LTE. I don't know why that is, but that's always a thing. So I'm like scrambling, looking around for this thing, and I'm like, I swear it's right here. Like Google Earth and Google Maps say it's right here.
So we turn around and we start hiking up the other sand dune, and that kind of continues through a little bit of like a forested area, and we pop up to a different boardwalk overlook thing, but it was definitely not the one we were looking for.
No, not at all.
And so I go, I don't think this is it. So we turn back around and we get to the top of the sand dune, and at the top I get magically like 3 bars of 5G. So on Google, what happened to Lake Michigan Overlook Sleeping Bear Sand Dune Park? And lo and behold, May of this year, they had taken out the boardwalk due to erosion.
But like I was Googling everything leading up to this trip, and never once did that pop up like on any of my searches. Like even on Google, like sometimes I use like ChatGPT or like AI to like give me more information that Google might not spit out to me, and like nothing said that this thing was removed, closed, anything.
It was one news website that I found. I only found one article about it.
Yeah. So like I was so heartbroken because I was looking forward to this sunrise like all week, and like right off the bat for our trip, like my heart is broken.
In your defense, at least it wasn't a banger sunrise.
True, yeah. It was super cloudy, and like we barely even saw the sun, so like it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. But ultimately though, Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes has a cute little story for its name. Well, it's kind of sad and tragic if you ever look it up.
Do you remember it? I kind of do.
It was the mama bear and her 2 cubs were across the lake, and there was a famine and they couldn't find any food. And so mama bear and her 2 cubs decided to swim across Lake Michigan. And so they start swimming across Lake Michigan, and they're so tired, and the baby cubs are so tired. One of them drowns right before the lake shore, and then the second one drowns right before the lake shore, and then mama bear makes it to the lake shore, and then she falls over on her side out of sadness and defeat, and she passes as well. And then her 2 cubs come back up to the surface, which make some of the islands that you see off of the lake right there.
That's so sad.
It's so cute and sad, but they're her little cubs like out in the lake.
Yeah. Well, that's so wholesome and sad, but it's cute. And so at Sleeping
And cute. All right.
at Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, there's also like a couple of stops along like the ring road that you can kind of like stop at and see. So there's like a couple other overlooks. There's like this really cute covered bridge that has like the National Park Service logo on it. So we like to stop there, and like we like observed it and like took a couple pictures of it and everything. I thought it was really cute.
It'd be a cool place to ride a bike, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, this place in the fall would go crazy.
Crazy. It'd be beautiful.
Everything we're about to get into about Michigan
would be a great fall
stunning
trip
in the
as
fall.
well.
So
yeah.
That's another thing we considered is doing this trip in the fall, but we were like, I kind of want to swim and like do the water activities while it's warm.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's just go in the summer.
And we saw a bunch of deer and a raccoon.
Yeah, we did see a raccoon. He was like on the side of a tree, like staring at us, like.
It was cool.
It's like, okay.
It was fun.
So after a couple of those stops, we were starving and ready to go get breakfast. So we headed back towards Traverse City and went to a place called Red Spire Brunch House. And I'll let Riley talk about this place because she loved the aesthetics and other little shops around here.
So we were in a historic downtown portion of Traverse City. I don't specifically know the name of the area. I kept trying to look it up. I'm sure it will pop right up on Google when I get off talking about this. But it's these basically halls where upstairs is hotels, residential apartments, all of this. And then all of the basements are businesses. So there's little shops, restaurants, breweries, all of that, and you can walk all the way around. And this place was the bomb.com. Trevor found it. I give him all the credit for it.
So the reason I found it is because whenever I'm in like doubt about my initial decision, what I'll do like right beforehand is like I'll go on Google and just search like if like in this case I was looking for like breakfast or brunch, I'll search best breakfast spots Reddit and then like the city. So it's like best breakfast spots Traverse City Reddit or something like that. And so the first thing that comes up is someone was like Red Spire Brunch House, not the most expensive thing, but absolutely worth it and my favorite spot every time. And so I was like, all right, sweet. So I looked that up and I look at the photos and everything, and it looked awesome. And we go in and we like give them like, hey, like table for two. And we probably get what one of the last one or two tables.
Yes.
And like right after we got seated, there was like a line of people behind us waiting to get seated.
It was like 45-minute wait, 45-minute wait, 45-minute wait. And
yeah.
We're just sitting there ordering our coffees, waiting for our breakfast.
So we like get there like just before that rush of the morning crowd since we're up so early. Like to us, it basically feels like lunchtime at this point. And like everyone else is like just waking up. So like that's the beauty about getting up for sunrise is like by the time you're ready to eat, you'll most likely still beat that morning crowd.
Yes, absolutely.
And we
I don't
usually
think we've
do.
ever ran into a morning crowd except for the one time in Virginia.
Yeah. So like Riley and I like to get like our own meal and then we'll either split like pancakes, waffles, or like in this case we got French toast. Because I don't think they had waffles and then their pancakes were either like...
It was like a plate of pancakes. It was too much.
I think the menu said like, these pancakes are big.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But it was sourdough, French toast.
Oh, it was so good.
And it was so delicious. Trevor also had the sourdough as a sandwich or toast on the side.
Sourdough toast, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was
delicious. So good.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Again, the prices weren't terrible. In this economy, all pricing is terrible in my opinion. But it was really great. I had a breakfast burrito with chorizo and avocado and oh boy. And like this Chipotle ranch. I could go on.
Yeah, we're big foodies. So whenever we go on trips like this, like we eat. Like that's our thing.
Gosh,
we
yeah.
eat.
We'll hike it all, but then we'll also consume it all back.
So after breakfast, we headed over to Torch Lake, which we were super stoked about leading up to this trip. Like I said a little bit ago, the watercolor here is like second to none. It's like more clear than the Caribbean. It's just something straight out of a movie. And so it was probably like a 40 minute drive from breakfast to Torch Lake. And so like leading up to it, I'm like super excited. I'm like a little kid on Christmas morning. We're like driving right along the coast and like you could just see like coming from the highway, like how blue this water is. And like, I was like, oh, this water is so blue. I can't wait.
And driving past Traverse City, oh my gosh, that town is incredible.
I would live there in the summer 100%.
Oh yeah. It was just people were out. There's volleyball. There's the lake. Just beautiful.
I would say it's literally like, it's like a Florida town. You know, like a
just
beach
right
town, but without palm trees.
Without the palm trees. Yep.
That's all it is. It's so beautiful. And like everyone's out on like their Jeeps with the doors off, like golf carts. Everyone's like walking around doing whatever. It was just awesome. So we were trying to find a place to park. And we didn't really find like good instructions online when we were trying to find it.
If you're going to visit Traverse City and you go to Torch Lake, visit the Traverse City Visitor Center before you go all the way out to Torch Lake. This is because you can do one of two things. Michigan residents can buy with their like permit for their car or their renewal for their car every year an outdoor watercraft parking ticket basically that allows you to park wherever they have access points. Michigan makes you pay to park at their launch points at all their lakes for the most part. And if you're out of state, like we are, you can buy online the pass for $41, which I was not going to do, but it's good for the whole year. Or you can buy in person in Traverse City an $11 per day pass, which allows you to park at those spots as well, but it's only $11. And for us, that would have been the one we wanted to do.
If we weren't 40 minutes away
If we
from
weren't
this
40 minutes
center.
already away from Traverse City.
Yeah, so we were like, all right, we have to drive 40 minutes back, pay $11, drive another 40 minutes to come back to Torch Lake, and then probably run out of time before we wanted to do everything else we had planned for the rest of the day. So I was like, well, let's just park for a little bit, enjoy, hope we don't get caught. So Riley like pulled up into like a parking lot while I was like flying the drone around a little bit. We both like went and dipped our feet in the water, watched people like launch their boats and stuff, but we didn't really get to swim or anything like we wanted to.
And I wanted to swim so bad. So while Trevor was running around with the drone, which you can fly the drone there, we always make sure wherever we're going, drone shots are allowed. If not, it just stays home. Just don't be that person, guys.
If I know I can't fly it, like I don't even bring my drone.
You don't want to be that person.
So like when we went on our national park trip like a month or two ago, like I didn't even bring the drone because like we're going to national parks, you can't fly your drone there. Yeah. Why would you bring it?
Don't bring it. So while Trevor was checking out the Torch Lake area, if you were to come again with your $11 parking pass or you buy the year pass, if you're there for more than, I guess, 4 days would be what's worth the price.
Yeah.
I would say you can walk out to Torch Lake. So there's another place. So finding parking's a little difficult, but there's like a hardware store. And next to that hardware store, there's an overflow lot for the launch point. There's the launch point parking. And then there's the public beach access point that's a little further down. We're on the southern side of Torch Lake. And if you go to that public beach access point, there are exactly 4 spots there. 4. I counted. 4. And if you can't get one of those 4, park at those other 2 and walk the 5 minutes to that point. And then you can get in the water, and it's a sandbar all the way out to where everyone else is hanging out. Yeah. And everyone online says, bring your floaties, do whatever, come just chill, come hang out.
Like I'm almost positive you could walk all the way out to the sandbar.
You can.
I mean, it's shallow.
From that point where we were standing at, which was the launch point for the boats, I wouldn't really recommend it. You probably have to swim a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, you can see, like I said, the water is so clear, you can see the bottom the entire time.
Yeah.
And like the sandbar is like where everybody hangs out. There's tons of boats there. People like kayak, like paddleboard there. Like, there's so many different ways to go out there and just, like, hang out.
And by the time it's August, you don't have to really worry about, like, the water itch that they sometimes have in Lake Michigan, which is whenever the cold water warms up, you kind of get, not like it's like bacteria, but, like, warm, cool.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. You can clean it off with, like, hose water and stuff, but by the time you're there, late summer, beautiful.
It's so nice.
Perfect. It's incredible.
So after being kind of bummed by Torch Lake and driving around trying to find parking, we couldn't. So Riley worked her Google magic and found us a public beach on Lake Michigan, 15 minutes away probably?
So we headed over from Torch Lake over to Elk Rapids, Torch Lake being its own little subsection, and then we were back in Lake Michigan, which, in my opinion, no different.
No, honestly, like super clear water.
So clear. So beautiful, and this public beach access point has free parking. You don't have to worry about paying for parking there.
Not a lot of spots. A little more than the 4 parking spots at Torch Lake, but there was probably
10,
15 cars? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we parked there. I didn't really know what to expect. Like, I knew it was going to be, like, beachy, a little bit of sand and stuff, but, like, whenever you go to the beach, you're so used to, like, having that salt water and, like, that gross, icky feel whenever you get in. And, like, whenever we were there and we went and got in the water, it was so refreshing.
It was like taking a shower.
Yeah, like, you feel so clean getting in. And, like, while you're in the water, you're like, I could just be in this forever. It was so nice.
I rarely get my hair wet anymore when I'm at the beach or anywhere. And here I was a little dolphin just diving in and out. I'm like, woo!
It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
It was probably, honestly, for me, this was my favorite part of the whole trip.
Yeah, so we were, like, getting in and out of the water. Like, we laid out on a beach towel and, like, just kind of soaking up the sun. It was, like, 90. It was 90 and sunny.
I wish I packed a cooler and we were there all day, honestly.
Same. So, like, while we were sitting there, I was telling Riley, I was like, this is the most relaxed I've been in a long time. Mm-hmm. It was just so peaceful. It was so nice. Everyone was just, like, chilling. The one dude was playing Katy Perry on the speaker next to us. Yeah. And if you don't know, I love Katy Perry. So it was just good vibes. Yeah. And, like, It was awesome. So unfortunately that had to come to an end, and we were about to head up to SkyBridge, which we didn't really know too much about going into this.
Well, the whole plan for this entire weekend is we're here on Friday, drive to Traverse City, and then we have to make the other 2.5, 3 hour drive up to the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah. So from Traverse City, it's about a 4-hour drive, but we were going to make stops along the way to kind of like break that drive up. So like already us going to Torch Lake took like 30 minutes off that drive. And so like us going from Torch Lake to then like SkyBridge took another like 20 minutes off that drive. So we'll kind of get into all these stops and things.
But we ultimately, so from Torch Lake, Oak Rapids area, drove probably 45 minutes to this place called The Foundry. It was a burger bar place that was along more little lakes as well. Mm-hmm. And this little town was just as adorable, and you're starting to lose as much city feel in a way. So less populated, less people, which keep that in mind as we continue up to the Upper Peninsula. And it was pretty good. I liked my burger. I was just hungry.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing really to speak to here. Like, we just wanted to go eat before we were like continuing like our next stop, and then like the longer drive up to Munising on the Upper Peninsula. So got burgers. It was cool. And then it was time to go to SkyBridge.
Yeah. So SkyBridge is over at the Boyne, I think. Boyne Mountain. Boyne, Boyne.
Yeah, I think it's Boyne.
Boyne Mountain Resort. This is a ski resort. I've never been to a ski resort. So this was like crazy for me to go see because I hate heights. So that's why I've never been on a ski lift. Well, for the most part.
But you have.
For the most part. And it was cool to go there because they had mountain biking and zip lining and a pool and definitely an all seasons type of resort.
They try to make it an all season, but you can tell it's definitely really popular in the winter.
Oh, it 100% has to be because it was very dedicated to the winter activities.
Yeah, and like I was expecting it to be busy there, and I mean, when we were up on the bridge, like what?
It was us for a
handful of people.
A long while. So.
Yeah. So we show up, and like the parking is a little bit of a walk away from like where you buy tickets and like where the ski lift is, like up to the bridge and everything.
But it was free. Free parking.
The parking was free. So we go to buy our tickets to get on the ski lift up to the bridge, and I was expecting like $10 a person. You know, like I hate paying for things and like all of that. So like we go up to the guy and he's like, all right, it's gonna be $30 per person, but if you sign up for our newsletter or whatever, it's only $25 per person. And Riley and I were like just staring at each other like, are you for real?
So we signed up for the newsletter.
We love
a good deal.
And I was like, I'll save $10 because I'm spending way more than I wanted to already. And so I was just like, we're here. This is one of the few stops like we're doing. Like, let's just do it. I mean, I've seen photos of it online and everything, and it looked really cool from up top. But like, I was not expecting $25. So I was like, whatever. We'll bite the bullet. We'll do it, and we'll just like enjoy it as much as we possibly can since we're paying for it.
Yeah. Which, it's a suspended bridge. The one in Grandfather Mountain is way cooler.
Oh, the one in Grandfather Mountain, North Carolina, that one is epic. That's also a mile high, like above, it's a mile above sea level. This one is about 100 feet off the ground.
The other one wasn't 100 feet off the ground. It's just a mile high.
No, ours, the one we're talking about right now, the SkyBridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying that Grandfather Mountain's mile high.
Right, I said above sea level.
Okay.
But like it's definitely still higher than this off the ground.
Yes,
it's on the top of a mountain.
Was much higher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This was kind of 100 feet, like you said, over the grass, and I would say the Grandfather Mountain one is closer to like 500, 600 feet.
Yeah,
visually.
It's a drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was cool. They had a glass part in the middle. Of course, I freaked out the whole time because I still hate heights. And it was just a hot Friday afternoon.
It was really hot.
And for $25,
I wouldn't do it again.
I don't think I would do it again.
I wouldn't. And like even a couple people asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, like
it's really not that worth it.
I wouldn't do it unless it's like your first and only time there. I would maybe do it during the fall.
Yeah.
Especially if it was my first time. Like that's probably really pretty. But like on a hot summer day like we were at there, like I wouldn't do that again.
I do think the resort has packages where that is included if you are doing like an outdoor adventure package and all this other stuff. And I would say 100% worth it. Everything else, the mountain biking looked really cool. We didn't get to go do it, but there was a couple people doing it, and they looked like they were having a great time.
Yeah.
Zip lining looked awesome. And all their other outdoor activities, I would say maybe you could make a whole day worth here, and that would be then something I would add to it. But if you're going just for the SkyBridge, maybe wait till fall.
Or skip it.
Yeah,
it was just not it. So anyway, after SkyBridge, it was time to make our about 3.5 hour drive up to Munising on the Upper Peninsula. So the way we had to go is like we go up through that. I forget what the bridge is called. Is it just called the Mackinac Bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was expecting like a lot of traffic here at the Mackinac Bridge because like I think the bridge is like a mile long. Mm-hmm. Like it's a long bridge going over water up to the Upper Peninsula, and so I didn't even know you had to pay a toll to go across it.
It's a toll bridge. It's a $4 toll for vehicles, probably a little more.
It's like $6 for a trailer, something for whatever truck.
All of that. But the drive up as we exit from the SkyBridge, going to Mackinac Bridge, and then past Mackinac Island is slowly getting more rural and rural and rural.
Yeah.
There's very few gas stations. There's nothing really off the sides of the roads. And so, like Trevor said, we were anticipating kind of a lot of traffic because coming from the lower part of Michigan into the Upper Peninsula, the toll is at the Upper Peninsula. It's not before it. Mm-hmm. So on our way in, there really wasn't that much traffic.
We waited like for 4 cars once we were like actually up to the booth.
And we hit this around 4 o'clock on a Friday, which was kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Because I thought a lot more people would be going to, like,
I was thinking, like,
Island
it's the weekend. Like, shouldn't you be going up to the island to have fun and stuff? Yeah. But I don't know. It worked out for us, so I wasn't complaining.
It was perfect. It worked out. So we kept driving. We were then by Lake Huron, and Lake Superior is on the other side. Yes. So we saw Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and then we were going to see Lake Superior later on in the afternoon. And as we're driving through the Upper Peninsula, it is just, there's nothing, man. I was shocked.
Yeah, it's just like flat, tons of trees. Like you're basically driving through a national forest the entire time. It's like you can tell there were like used to be towns there that are like abandoned now and stuff, and like gas stations that are no longer open. So it's like a lot of that, like the whole drive up to Munising. So like, Riley and I are kind of like alone with our thoughts and whatever podcast we're listening to at the moment because there's nothing really to look at. And so it's about a little under 3 hours of that. Until eventually, like, as we're, like, about to get into Munising, like, we're driving towards the place we wanted to go watch the sunset, and it is just, like, overcast. I'm looking at the weather, like, it's about to, like, rain, thunderstorm. And so Riley and I were like, all right, well, maybe we'll skip sunset since it's just going to rain all night.
Yeah, because it was about 8 p.m. when we were going to be there, and it was either sunset or dinner. It wasn't both. We couldn't. I mean,
we were going to eat, but it was a matter of like, are we going to go out to eat or are we going to cook? And I didn't want to cook in the rain. So,
yep, out to eat it was. So we headed into downtown Munising and we headed up to, I think it's called Caraberry's Pizza.
I don't know what it was called.
The Cooking Caraberry's Pizza, and
it was like wood-fired pizza.
It was so yummy.
Yeah. So we walk up and she was like, have you guys ever been here before? And we were like, no.
Cash only. Munising is like cash only everywhere.
Yeah, it really is.
Everywhere.
And so she was like, have you ever been here before? I was like, no. And she was like explaining like, all right, well, these are the size of the pizzas. And it's basically like if you had like a paper plate, like that's how big the pizza is. So I was like, great. This is going to be like a really crappy, like super small pizza. And I'm not going to like it. I'm still going to go to bed hungry. Like, that type of thing. So we order. I got a pepperoni. Riley got a margarita.
It was margarita, yeah. And I added pepperoni.
So we ordered our pizzas, and like I think Riley went to the bathroom, whatever. And they bring our pizzas out in like less than 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
And these things looked really good. So I was like, all right, this is a little promising. And so once we like had our first bite, we were both like, dang, this is actually pretty good. But I think they make like their own sauce and stuff.
The sauce was so good.
And, like,
it was probably some of the best pizza sauce I've ever had.
Yeah, and like they grow all of their basil right there.
Yeah.
Like you could see it, like we were sitting right next to it. So I was like, okay, well like they use like fresh stuff. Like that's why it's pretty good. And like I was impressed. Mm-hmm. And as a pizza fanatic myself, who has very harsh judgments on pizza, I would say this pizza was worth getting.
Yes. And it's nice because Munising has several restaurants. It has at least one grocery store, gas stations, all of that. So it was nice to kind of eat locally. We like to try to avoid chains as much as possible when we're traveling because getting the experience of the locals is our preference.
Yeah, and like local stuff is always better than chains.
Yes.
Like I can't think of a chain I prefer over like a local spot.
A good local spot.
You know? Yeah. So after dinner, we decided to head over to where we were going to stay for the weekend. And like we said at the beginning, we like to stay at like Walmart's. We like to stay at like National Forest land that's free. And so when I was planning this trip, I found a couple like, not BLM land for the people out west, but like National Forest, like free places you can pull over on the side of the road and like camp. So I had a couple spots pinned. And as I'm like Googling these coordinates just to like triple check that this is actually somewhere we can go, the first thing that pops up is like paid camping. And I'm like, hold up. This is supposed to be free. So as I started like digging into it, like one of the things that popped up was like the KOA site that was like $75 a night. And I was like, what? I was like, what is this? And so I'm like, Riley, will you help me look into this? So we're both like Googling, trying to find stuff. And like eventually we were like, all right, I think it's free. But like the other paid campsites are like on both sides of it, like both sides of the road of it. Mm-hmm. And so we were like, all right, well, like we'll just, it's still a little light out. Like we'll just go drive and then hope for the best. So we drive like 10 minutes down the road from Munising, find the National Forest Road, and luckily it was there. Mm-hmm. But there's only like 3 spots you can pull off of like on that National Forest Road, and all 3 of them were taken.
Yep.
So as you like come around this loop, you come to like a road that's like the...
it's a power line road.
It's a power line road.
But it's a road still.
And
which
so
was strange because I normally don't see that.
Right, like it's an actual road you
it was
can
an
drive
actual
down.
road.
Not like closed
on my
off.
Google Maps. Yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's just turn down here. Hopefully we can find a spot that's like kind of been used, or you can tell someone's parked here before.
Because the important thing about when you do these free campsites in the state forest or national forest is that you're supposed to be using spots that
already exist,
developed, or you're not to make your own spot and develop something new. So we figured we could take a risk if we had to by just like sleeping on that road, because I don't think literally
or like,
anybody
you know,
was going to be
pull off
driving
like a little bit of
driving
it, you know?
down it in the middle of the night.
And so as we're driving, like Riley did spot a little section that was, you could tell has been like used, and
it was a forest plot that they had taken down a lot of the trees at, and it was basically like the access to it, but it was still in the national state forest that we were in. And so I said, stop, back up.
So we did find a spot. I don't know where we would have gone if we didn't.
We would have just pulled over and hoped that no one decided to come down the road in the middle of the night.
Right. So we did find the spot, and this is the night where like we were dying of heat. So like right at sunset, it was like 82. Yeah. I think. And it's humid. Because it was raining, you know, it was like 90-something% humidity.
So sometimes we like to put the windows down just a little bit, like crack it, but we couldn't because it was pouring down rain.
And the bugs, which we will get into, the bugs are so bad here.
And the bugs were a lot. So Traverse City, it was kind of in the 70s. And then we had bought these clip-on fans. So we clipped them onto our handlebars at the back seats. Mm-hmm. And so they were just blowing like straight in our face. So that was manageable. They lasted the entire night. No problem. On Thursday night. Friday night, we clip them up, do the same thing, and we're blasting the little fans on our face. Probably like 2 hours in, Trevor goes, the fan died. In the middle of the sleep. I'm trying to sleep. My whole body is slick with sweat.
Listen,
I'm just
so if Riley's like sweating and struggling,
I'm not sleeping under the blanket.
Like, I am basically dead at this point. So Riley will always sleep under a blanket no matter what. Like the first night we were there, Riley was under the blanket. And I'm like both fans on me, like I only have my underwear on. I'm like dying in the back seat. And so whenever I saw these fans died, I was like, oh, we're screwed. And so it just came to the point where we were like, all right, we need to turn the car on and just blast the AC and just sleep with the car on. So that's what we did. But like at this point, it was like 2:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. We were waking up at 4. Yeah. So like we got maybe like an hour of sleep. Yeah. And like I barely even slept through that. So at this point, I'm running on like no sleep because I was kept up all night from like the heat, turning the car on, like getting up and like trying to turn your car on while you're laying in the back is a struggle because you have to push the brake and all of our stuff is in the front seat. So I'm like climbing over the front, pushing my hand down on the brake, using my other hand to start the car while I'm holding my balance. Like that's a workout in itself, and it will keep you up after you do it. Yeah. So,
but we nonetheless survived Friday night car camping and drove to the Mosquito Beach Chapel Rock loop. this is probably, again, something that you may have seen online. Probably one of the best hikes you can go to in Michigan.
In the Upper Peninsula.
In the
anyway.
Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
And it's about a 10-mile loop all the way around the lake. You start at the parking lot, hiking about 3 miles through the woods, and then you end up at Chapel Rock or Mosquito Beach, depending on which side of the loop you do. And we got there 5 a.m.-ish.
Yeah, so our plan for this was we wanted to be out at the beach for the sunrise. And so, like, as we're driving to the parking lot and everything, like, it's thunderstorming. Like, it rained all night, and it's still thunderstorming right now. And even when we checked the weather the night before, like, it said 0% chance of rain. So I'm like, okay, this is great.
This is definitely not zero.
We show up to the parking lot. It's like pouring at this point.
Pouring down rain.
And, like, there's still lightning behind us. And I was like, I'm not going to go hike 3 miles out to this beach to get stormed on the entire time.
We've done it before. We've done it at McAfee's
right.
And it thunderstormed on us for a solid 2 miles.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm not doing that again, like, with no food in my stomach. And, like, I don't have service, so I can't check the weather for the rest of the day or anything. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, what do you want to do?
We also forgot our dry bags, or so we thought.
Yeah. So one of my biggest concerns whenever we go hiking in the rain is, like, what do I do with my camera? Because I have, like, this camera clip that goes on my shoulder strap of my backpack. And so I keep my camera, like, on my shoulder basically the entire time. So it's exposed to whatever. And so my concerns are always, like, what if it rains? What if my camera gets wet? And so my camera is, like, weatherproof in a way, but, like, we all know how that works. Like, I'm not trying to risk dropping my camera or, like, having it in too much water to the point where, like, a little bit gets in and just, like, breaks the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I like to carry a dry bag with me so I can, like, throw that over top of it or at least just, like, shove it in and close it up. So then whenever it does rain a lot or, like, in this instance, like, pouring, like, we're good to go no matter what. And so I asked Riley, I was like, do we have the dry bags? And she's like, I don't think so. And I was like, shoot, I know I forgot mine. So I was like, well, I guess we're not hiking with the camera. And so Riley was like, should we just, like, catch up on sleep right now until it stops raining? And I was like, honestly, I'm down. Yeah. So we slept for another 2 hours. And
in the parking lot.
In the parking lot. And then it finally stopped raining around, like, 7:15.
Yeah. So I woke up a couple times while we were hanging out, sleeping, just to see if the rain had stopped. And it rained.
It poured.
Consistently from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Yeah. So, like, even if we did go do that hike, like, the 3 miles probably would have taken us, like, an hour, 10, hour 15 or so. Because there's, like, no elevation on this hike. Like, it's a 10 to 12 mile hike.
Well,
what?
The Mosquito Beach side of things has a lot of elevation.
Okay, but, like, in general, if you're hiking 12 miles, like, you'd expect there to be, like, a decent amount of elevation.
Yeah.
The 12-mile hike is only 700 feet of elevation gain the whole time. So, like, I was telling Riley, whenever I go on, like, 3-mile walks around our neighborhood, like, on my 3-mile walk, I get around, like, 250 feet of elevation. And, like, we live in a flat spot. Like, there are not a lot of hills or anything here.
It's Ohio.
Right. So that's what I mean. But, like, over the course of 12 miles, like, 700 feet, like, that is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. So
10 miles.
It's 10 to 12. It depends on, like, which... There's, like, little offshoots of trails you can, like, connect and stuff. But if you do, like, all of these little things, it ends up being, like, 12 miles. So that's why I say 10 to 12. It was probably, like, 10 and a half for us.
Yes.
So, anyway, if we would have hiked out there, like, we would have been in the rain the whole time and then some. So, like, even if we did take the camera out, we wouldn't even be able to use it because of my anxiety about ruining my camera. So, like, we would have just been sitting in the rain for 45 minutes anyway. So, us sleeping allowed us to be in a better mood, actually get some sleep for the day.
Yeah.
And just, like, prepared us for what was about to be, like, the 10 and a half miles we're about to hike.
Which was great because then we got to make our breakfast at the parking lot. So we brought our little camper stoves for our freeze-dried meals. We love the Mountain House breakfast skillet. That is, like,
It's just so easy.
So good.
You boil
so
water.
Easy.
It takes, like, 4 or 5 minutes, if that. And you just dump the water in. You let it brew for a little bit, and, like, you're good to eat. It takes, like, 10, 15 minutes total? It's so easy.
It's definitely worth it. And so while we're making breakfast, I'm organizing my backpack. I find my dry bag.
So I was like, oh, is this your grand scheme? Like, you're just going to tell me you have this dry bag now after we decided not to go because we didn't have the dry bag?
So grateful we didn't go because I don't think we would have had a good time.
Oh, I would have hated it.
It
like,
was going to be horrible.
It would have ruined it, you know? Like, we're dead tired. Like, that's another thing, too, is, like, we would have had to make our breakfast beforehand in the rain.
Yeah. We worked it out the right way.
It all worked out perfectly because like by the time we started the hike and all that, like the sun was shining through. It was like a fairy tale. It was so cute and pretty.
So picturesque. And I will say, so when we arrived pretty early morning, this is a backpacking trail where you can overnight camp as well, backcountry. So there was about 5 or 6 cars already in the lot when we got there. And then by 7:30, 8 a.m., I would say there was probably 20, 25 cars when we got there. I can't wait to explain how many cars there were when we left.
Yeah. So when we started hiking, like the parking lot wasn't even halfway full. No. And like the amount of parking spots in this parking lot, I'd probably guess is like 50.
Yeah, just about.
About 50. And so when we started, there was probably like 20 cars, maybe a little less there. And like some of those were already there whenever we pulled up. So like I'm assuming some of those people were doing like the backpacking and everything. So like truly whenever we started hiking, like the people who were hiking there for the day, we were probably like 2 of the first 10.
Yeah. So when you get up to the trailhead, you can either go left or right if you're facing the trailhead. The left side takes you to Mosquito Beach. The right side takes you to Chapel Rock. We watched a bunch of people go to the left, so we decided, let's start at the right.
Yeah, so Mosquito Beach to the left, I knew is like the beach was literally just like little rocks. Like instead of sand, like at the beach, like it's just like some rock formations shelf that goes down into the water. So that's all it really is. And so I was like, well, all the stuff I really want to see, like all the blue water and like all the picturesque rocks and stuff are on the Chapel Rock side of the trail. So I was like, oh, what if we went and did that first? And so that's what we ended up doing.
And that hike in, I will say, was flatter than flat because there was probably truly one little part of elevation.
Yeah, like those first 3 miles, flat.
And when we get through all 3 of those miles, we have just one little fly buddy bugging Trevor to no
gosh.
end. This thing was flying around Trevor's head.
We covered ourselves in bug spray leading up to this because like we knew the bugs were bad. And so the flies here bite. Like they aren't just like your little Ohio flies that like buzz around you. These flies land on you and bite you.
Or sting.
And so we weren't quite at the shore yet because that's where like the biting bugs kind of live is like along the water. But like everyone knows those flies when you go hiking in the woods. Like they're a little bigger. They just like buzz around your head and try and land on you and stuff. I had like 2 of those guys following me the entire time. And so I'm like swatting these things. They keep landing on like the backside of my head, like on my hair.
I'm dousing them in bug spray.
I'm like, Riley, get the bug spray out and just like spray these suckers.
Pro tip, bug spray does not protect you against flies.
Yeah, so at least like the bug spray we had.
Most bug spray don't.
Right, I'm sure they make a bug spray that does, but we just didn't have it. So like the bug spray we had, we bought when we were in the North South Carolina because we were visiting Congaree, and Congaree National Park is like infamous for mosquitoes.
Which this protected against mosquitoes for the most part.
Yeah, so like mosquitoes were fine, whatever. But like these flies would not leave me alone. So like Riley is like directly spraying this bug spray onto the fly that's bothering me, and it is like not caring. And I'm like, whatever, like I'm just gonna have to suck it up and say screw it because this is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and when we were reviewing or looking up what to do for this adventure, a lot of people were talking about the flies online. But we really didn't see anyone in, like, bug net.
Everyone still had, like, their shorts on.
And, like, there are a couple people in pants. Remember the people in pants.
Yeah.
You want to be a person in pants.
Right.
You do. I promise you. So, we get to Chapel Rock, and Chapel Rock is one of the coolest formations, I think, in the whole park.
It was super neat.
Or National Lakeshore.
Lakeshore, anyway. Yeah.
But it's, it was so, like, the pine tree that goes right up had a bald eagle at the top of it.
Yeah, so like on Chapel Rock, like it's a rock separated from like the direct shore, like rock that you kind of
there used to be a connection point, and then due to erosion, I think in like the 1900s sometime, that fell away, and what remained was the branches from the tree.
Yeah,
like the
so
tree roots
it's
going
like
across.
This rock separate from the shore. And there's one tree like directly on the center of it, and its roots like are almost like a bridge back to shore, and like that's where it like connects to like get all of its like nutrients and stuff from the soil.
Cool.
It was so neat. So that was like a really cool spot. And like Riley said, like there's people behind us who were like, oh, there's an eagle up there,
and we couldn't see it.
And we're looking up and we're like, where? It's because there was like a tree in front of our view, and as soon as we took like 3 steps backwards, we were like, "Oh my gosh, there's an eagle at the top of this tree!" It was literally like right above us.
So cool.
It was sweet.
It's probably the closest I've been to a wild bald eagle.
Yeah, and so if you don't know Riley, she's always like pointing out birds. Like if we're driving, or even if she's driving down the road, she's like, oh, bald eagle, or like heron, or whatever.
Hawk, heron, bald eagle.
She's like always pointing it
birds.
out. So I was like, oh, how funny is it that we saw an eagle and you weren't the one to point it out?
I know, it was so ironic.
It was funny.
But you kind of keep on going along the lakeshore. So when we get to Chapel Rock, that's when the first little ones start
Yeah.
on our ankles.
And we're
where
like,
you're sweating.
all right.
I'm like, okay, well, if that's just how they are, that's how they are. It's not too bad. And I personally think the facilities at Chapel Rock are the best. They have bathrooms there. There's like a boardwalk you can kind of walk on. So you're not kind of trudging through sand, because there was a point where we're kind of starting to go between sand and trail, and that gets a little rough sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when you're going like between the two. Like you get used to walking on like the dirt, and then you're walking on sand, and you have to get used to walking on the sand, and then you go back to the dirt, and you're just like, all right, can we pick one?
Yeah. And the water looked so
Oh
good.
my gosh.
It was so beautiful. Lake Superior, just chef's kiss, just beautiful.
Yeah, like I forget which.
This is
points.
Chapel Rock Beach.
I think there was like a specific point we were at. I can't think of the name. It was like Dragon Head or something.
It was probably Shipwreck.
Shipwreck Point or something. But like the water here is like there's like bright green spots, bright blue spots, like turquoise, and then there's like dark blue, and then the rocks underneath it you see like another shade of blue and green, and it was just like it was insane. I remember telling Riley, I was like, this is better than the water I saw in the Caribbean.
Yeah, the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore is just like
It's unreal.
I understand why they call it Pictured Rocks.
Yeah, like it's so worth the hype. You have to go see it at least once in your life for sure.
This was just it was just incredible. So Chapel Beach was very beautiful, and then they had there's several other Battleship Rock, not Shipwreck.
Battleship Rock.
So Battleship Rock, we pinned a whole bunch of spots on a Google map that we plan to share. So it's really great to see all the little outputs that we did pictures at, and there's a grand portal point where that I think is probably one of the most iconic locations along this trail. And so at this point, we've hiked probably about
6 miles, probably.
Well, to get to Battleship Rock, that was almost
that was
5 miles.
A little less than 5, probably. Yeah.
And we decided we were going to do the rest of this loop. So where it changes and where you can kind of do a little bit more or less depending on what you end up doing is Chapel Rock has a Chapel Falls trail where that you can see waterfalls, which we did, and then also has a Chapel Lake trail where you can hike along the smaller lake that's along the shoreline going to Chapel Beach. Personally, I would say stick to Chapel. I don't think you really need to do the full 10, and because just there's a bathroom at the end of that trailhead, there's a beautiful beach, awesome views, the waterfall, the
easy
rock,
hiking.
Easy hiking.
Not a lot of elevation.
Not a lot of elevation. The Chapel Rock, kind of just that loop, would be 6 miles long-ish, a little more.
I was going to say, like, if you do, like, an out and back, like, out to the Grand Portal Point and then back, it would still end up being, like, 10 miles or so anyway, because you hike about 5 out and then you do 5 back. So our mindset of doing the whole loop was like, all right, we're going to walk this distance anyway. We may as well go see it all for the first time. It was nice to see it all, but, like, we regretted doing it because, like, Mosquito Beach was, like, nothing. It was, like, water hitting the shore.
Yeah.
And then Mosquito Falls was, like, not a lot because there wasn't a lot of water there in the summer. So, like, it was okay. But, like,
and the flies.
And the flies were even worse over there, so.
There was a point where I stopped talking.
Yeah, Riley just, like, goes mute whenever she's hungry or, like, something is bothering her like that. Which I don't blame her because I honestly do the same thing. So, but, yeah, I probably would have just gone the out and back.
Yeah.
Through the Chapel side if I was to do this hike again.
I think that's probably the better route.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And wear pants. Don't wear tight pants. Don't wear yoga pants. Wear loose-fitting pants. Where flies can't touch your body.
Lightweight hiking pants.
Yes.
That was a tongue twister for me. Oh my gosh.
Pants. The arms, I think you could get away with kind of pushing the bugs away.
They weren't really on my arms anyway.
Holy cow. I was just at a point where
I have videos of like walking behind Riley where like even though she's walking, there's like 10 bugs on the back of her legs, like just latched on.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, they're loving you.
I was dying.
It was miserable.
I'm a stinky sweater. I think that's why.
And they were all over your feet.
Yes.
And like your socks. So like I think all the sweat, like
stinky sweat.
all the stinky sweat like down there, like they were just loving.
Oh, they loved my stinkiness.
So I that's definitely what it was. But before we did this hike, like as we were driving into the trailhead that morning, like we had a little bit of cell service. So I had like all these notifications on my phone. And so whenever we were like on our hike back to the parking lot, like from like Chapel Rock and Grand Portal Point and all that, I saw that our kayaking tour that we had planned for that night like got canceled because of the storm overnight, something about like the waves.
It was a small craft advisory alert on the lake.
So they had to cancel all of the kayaking trips for that day. And so I was like, shoot, like we really wanted to go kayaking. And so I was like, all right, well, I don't have cell service on this hike. So like as soon as we get back into town, like we need to call them and get this rescheduled to see if we can go first thing Sunday morning.
So we're making our way out of the Mosquito Beach hike, and the Mosquito Beach side of things, where I say there's no elevation, but there is elevation, there's a lot of up and down on that side of the trail.
Yeah.
We climbed down, we climbed up. There were a couple hills.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful we did not do that first thing in the morning because I don't think I would have been a happy camper. And it starts thundering and lightning.
Like
the last mile we have getting out of the
I mean,
trail.
it was like loud thunder. Like we saw a couple flashes of lightning, but like you just heard all this thunder like out in the distance, and then eventually it started like sprinkling, and we knew we were about to get poured on, and as soon as the rain started coming down, it was just like ka-choom! And like the lightning and the thunder was like right on top of us, and we were like, all right, we gotta go. And so like Riley said, we did find that dry bag. Yeah. So I put my camera and like the batteries and stuff all in the dry bag, and so I'm just like carrying this dry bag with me while we're getting poured on in the rain. So
and there are people still hiking out.
Yeah, and all these people were just starting their hike, like still going in the storm and everything. I was like, dude, kudos to you. Like I would not be starting a hike in this.
So it was crazy. We got back to the parking lot. We're looking to try to cancel or call, and the parking lot's completely full. It is about 12:30, 1 o'clock by this point.
1 o'clock, yeah.
And so we stretch, we get back in the car, start driving down the dirt gravel road, which was a 2-lane road. At this time, it is now a 1-lane road because there were probably 200 cars parked along this road.
On both sides of the road.
On both sides of the road.
And these cars were parked all the way until you got to like the paved actual road.
It was insane. Insane. These people were easily adding 1.5 miles, 2 miles to their hike.
Right, because that dirt path, I'm pretty sure, is like, I think it is 1.5 miles to like the paved road that you turn off of.
It was insane.
And so there's cars lined up on both sides of the road, and like
all the way down.
It was truly a one-way road because of how packed this dirt road was.
Which was insane because I didn't feel like there were that many people on the trail.
No, we would pass someone like every few like minutes or so.
It was
like,
strange.
It wasn't packed. None of the viewpoints were packed. Like we were alone almost the entire time. But it like I said, it is a 10 to 12 mile loop.
Yeah.
So like the odds of you being with someone the entire time are slim.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We just couldn't believe how packed it was, and I was like, I don't think it would even be worth it in like this weather. You know, like it was hot and sunny. It's like it was kind of humid and miserable. It started storming, so like people were still showing up, but like around like noon to 2 p.m. like that is like prime time when like most people are out trying to hike and stuff. So I totally get that. But as we were leaving, we were very hungry and we wanted to try the iconic food item of the Upper Peninsula, which is called a pasty.
Or pasty.
Past? I think it's pasty.
Pasty.
So basically what it is
it's a pasty.
Is that? No. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to say pasty. So it's basically like this dough. It's like a I don't know how to describe
I would call
this.
it like a hot pocket.
I was going to say a hot pocket, but I was like, it's like a big hot pocket.
A big flaky crust.
And so what's inside of it is like potatoes, beef, rhubarb, which is carrots, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like onion. And so it's basically just like a meaty like food item. And so what it is like the miners who used to live there in the 1800s, this is like the food they would bring with them for lunch. So the way the bread is made is there's like a handle on it almost, so it's like folded up on one side so they can hold it without getting like their food dirty from their hands, and then they can just like eat all the rest and then leave that little handle behind if
It's
they
like
could.
if you took a puff pastry and you rolled it out, you stuffed it with like a baseball-sized meal.
Yeah.
And you packaged it back up, and then you twirled the one side of it like a pierogi.
Dang, you just nailed that explanation. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I don't know, bread, meat, potatoes.
And then you brush it with butter, and then you bake it in the oven, and it's all golden and flaky.
It was pretty good.
I loved mine. Trevor was like, eh. I put sriracha on mine.
Yeah, so the place we went was called Muldoon's. Mm-hmm. And so that was like a very highly rated place to go. And I thought it was really good. And so...
out of all the ones we had, that was my favorite one.
We only had 2, so...
yeah, but still.
Yeah, it was the best. I think
it was definitely the best.
I honestly think like that bread, like that crust was like... that was...
it was a flaky pastry crust.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was it.
And so I usually like don't season a lot of things. Like if I put any seasoning on like food, to me it's just like salt and pepper. Like I'm very basic with it.
Trevor's
like,
a little bland. It's okay.
I don't need a lot of flavor to like eat something. And so as I'm eating this, I was like, yeah, there really wasn't like a lot of flavor there. Like I could tell it was potatoes, but like it was missing flavor.
It needed some salt and pep.
So like if it had a little bit of salt and pepper, it would have made it completely. So like Riley said, she put sriracha on hers, and like I don't like hot sauce, so that's why she liked hers so much. I think because there was like a little bit of flavor
so
there.
good. It was such a good. It wasn't a normal sriracha brand that I've seen before. I don't even know what brand it was, but it was delicious. And so we're in Munising, and we ate our pasties. And I told Trevor, I said, I think we deserve some ice cream.
I'm never opposed to ice cream. And so like our rule in Ohio is if it's over 90 degrees, we get ice cream.
And it was over 90 degrees
and
all night.
It was over. It felt like it. And so like it did hit 90 that day. So I was like, well, we're about 8 hours north of where we live, and it's still 90 degrees. So we do deserve ice cream.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I was trying to like call back these kayaking people to see if I could rebook. And
no one was answering.
I called 3 times and nobody answered. So I'm like, I'm probably going to get screwed out of this kayaking trip. And so like as we're driving to go get ice cream, I think it was a 20-minute drive from Munising?
Just about. So this was one of these places that was like highly rated on like the Visit Munising website. I can't remember. Why am I blanking? Mama Cow. And they had this brand of Wisconsin ice cream. Kind of like a Hershey's or like a State College in Pennsylvania, if you're familiar with that. So they had all this ice cream here, and I've never heard of this Wisconsin brand. Like
I didn't even know Wisconsin ice cream was a thing.
Well, there's
it makes
a
sense
bunch
after
of cows,
hearing it, you know? Yeah.
So I'm trying to...
It's something about like how dense the cream is or something. Oh my god.
It was like...
oh my gosh, it was so good.
I know I keep doing chef's kiss, but it was truly a chef's kiss. I could not believe how incredible this ice cream was.
Yeah, and so I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, and so that's where the ice cream chain Handles is from, and that is like our favorite ice cream for sure by far is Handles. It's so good, and us getting this ice cream up in Michigan, I was like, all right, this actually gives that a run for its money. They had a bunch of flavors. I still got cookie dough because like the flavors sounded really good, but then there was always like one thing in each one that I was like about. Like I don't really like peanut butter, so like there was a couple that sounded really good. They had peanut butter. A couple of them sounded really good. They had strawberries, and I'm allergic to strawberries, so I was like, I like can't get one of these. So I was like, all right, I'll just go get cookie dough, and I am so glad I did because that was the best cookie dough ice cream I've ever had.
Trevor, I think, said it
like,
10 times.
Hands down.
10
and
times.
I got like the biggest waffle cone possible.
He's licking the ice cream going, this is the best cookie dough I've ever had. This is the best. So the brand is called Chocolate Shop Ice Cream Company.
Okay.
And it's from Madison, Wisconsin. Holy cow.
Pun intended.
Pun fully intended. It was so good. I panicked when I ordered because I walked up and this woman before me got a banana split sundae and it looked fantastic. So I was like, what is in that? And then I was like, do I really want a banana split sundae or do I want ice cream? And then I was like, I don't know what I want. Trevor's like, you ready to order? And I guess like, butterscotch. It was really good.
And I always make fun of Riley because she always orders things that she ends up not liking and then she doesn't finish it. So I'm like, Riley, did you get something you're actually going to eat?
And I said, I don't know. But I loved it. It was really good. It had like Rice Krispie chocolate in it. Have you ever had that? Like the rice pop or chocolate? I don't know. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. And the ice cream itself was just like, I had a spoon in a bowl, Trevor did a cone, and you would dip the spoon in and you would pull it apart. It was like elastic.
It was so
in a
good.
way. It was awesome.
So definitely worth the drive to go get it.
I don't know if I'd drive 9.5 hours for it again, but like just for the ice cream, but it's worth a 4-hour drive in my opinion.
Well, from where we were, it was only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was worth it. I would definitely get it again if I'm ever anywhere that has it.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe every night we're there.
Yeah. And so it was still like raining off and on at this point, and like we had some plans to go see sunset if we wanted to, but we were like, it's just not going to hit. Like the chances of storms like throughout the night just kept increasing. And so we were like, all right, well, let's at least like go dip our feet in Lake Superior real quick just to say like we've been in it. And so Riley found a beach. What was it? Miners Beach?
Miners Beach.
Yeah. And so it was actually still pretty busy, even though the weather was crappy.
It was pouring down rain and people were there at the beach.
Yeah, like having their beach day. And I'm like, what the heck? Like these people don't care.
No, dedicated.
Yeah.
You're up in the Upper Peninsula, you're going to the beach.
Right. And so we pulled up to Miners Beach and we just like walked down real quick, dipped our feet in. Riley
rinsed my socks.
Rinsed her socks since they were stinky and we didn't want the flies back. So we just did that real quick and then headed back up to the car. And we called it early for the night. So we just headed back to where we slept the night before, up in that National Forest Road.
Which, ironically, it has, like, service there.
Yeah.
We had, like, full service.
Yeah, the best service we had, like, the entire time was while we were, like, at this National Forest. Yeah.
So we started watching Netflix.
Yeah, so we went back around, what, like 6:30, 7 o'clock? And I was like, well, this is nice because now we can actually catch up on the sleep that we didn't get the night before. Mm-hmm. And so we had our dude wipes. We gave ourselves like the baby wipe shower, you know, brushed our teeth, did all that, had a little bit of like food. It was just nice. We got to lay there. I had like 4 bars of LTE or something. Mm-hmm. And
we replaced the batteries in our fans.
We had the fans working again. We left the car on though. Like we had the AC on during this time.
Yeah, we were blasting the
I'm
AC.
pulling up Netflix on my phone like we were watching a little anime before going to bed. If you watch anime, Hunter x Hunter, highly recommend.
Trevor loves that show.
It's such a good show. So we were watching that a little bit and then Riley fell asleep and I was kind of wide awake. Like I have a hard time falling asleep. So like the fact that it was still like a little bit light outside, it was only like 8 o'clock or so and I'm like struggling to fall asleep even though I'm dead tired. Mm-hmm. It was a struggle. So I ended up not even falling asleep till like a little bit after 9. And so it was whatever.
We still got tons of sleep though.
Oh yeah. We went to bed at 9, didn't have to wake up till like 5:30.
Fantastic.
That's like the most sleep we've ever gotten on a trip.
Honestly.
So Sunday morning we had planned to go watch the sunrise at Miners Castle, which is right by the Miners Beach we were at before we went to bed Saturday night. So Miners Castle to me was like the iconic sunrise spot I really want to go see just because I saw like really pretty pictures of it online. So I was like, all right, we're going to go, hope for the best, hope these storms pass, and go see the sunrise for once on this trip.
And boy, were we rewarded.
Oh, yeah.
It was
an awesome
so
sun. It was
colorful.
It was super colorful, like the blue and green water. The sky was like orange and pink and purple.
It was beautiful.
It's probably one of the best sunrises I've seen in a long time.
And we realized while we were there that Trevor's debit card is Pictured Rocks.
Yeah, my Huntington Bank debit card is Pictured Rocks.
Standing and looking at the sunrise night and got back in the car and I said, I'm pretty sure this is what your debit card looks like.
Yeah. So we like walked around there for a little bit and just like enjoyed it. There's like an upper and a lower overlook. So you can like the lower overlook is Miners Castle itself. So you can kind of like walk down to the rock formations and everything.
Which was cool to see. We walked down there. The moon was still kind of out. So we were overlooking like Lake Superior. And then there's I think it's called Grand Island. That's right outside of Munising. So there's that. You kind of see that in the distance. And we didn't get a chance to go explore there. I definitely think it's worth it in the future because there's lighthouses, really cool spots.
Yeah, if you have more time.
If we didn't have all the rain we did on Saturday, we would have got a little bit more out of it. Mm-hmm. But it was just a beautiful, peaceful morning, and there was literally nobody else there. Just us.
It's
Sunday
just
morning,
us. I feel like most of the time when we do sunrise, it's just us.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a super popular, crowded weekend somewhere. So it was super nice to have it all to ourselves.
Landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a little different. So yeah, we had it all to ourselves, and I forgot to mention that the night before, like before we went to bed and everything, I was able to email the kayaking place and be like, hey, I called 3 times. Can I do this first thing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? And they were like, oh, yep, no problem. We'll get you rebooked. So after sunrise on Sunday, we wanted to go get like a coffee just to make sure we were like alive and awake for this kayaking tour. So we originally found the spot in downtown Munising, but like on the way, we passed this cute little like...
It was like a conversion camper van that they made into a coffee shop.
Yeah, and it was really cute. So I was like, all right, we have to stop here. Because we never really stop at like coffee trucks or anything. And it looked really cute. And whenever we pulled up, it was like, what? It was like Christian themed or something.
Yeah,
it was
like, cute.
It sounded like Jesus coffee. And I was like, all right, this is cool. So let's do it. And it was Sunday, so it was my holy obligation. So I was like, all right, let's go get a coffee. And they had these like little waffles. It was really good. I would not get it again. It was like $5 for a mini waffle, like maybe the size of my palm.
It's one of those like, yeah.
It's one of those trendy, hip coffee shop type things.
But
the coffee was really
good.
Yeah.
I had a honey lavender latte.
I just had a black coffee. That's all I get.
Mine was delicious, and I iced it. It was so good. It was perfect after a long, hot weekend.
Yeah.
So we chugged our coffee, and then we headed over to the kayaking spot, which we did was like Uncle Ducky's kayaking or something like that.
It's through Paddling Michigan. Mm-hmm. So if you look up like Paddling Michigan Upper Peninsula, it'll come up.
It is pricey.
It is a lot pricier than I would have liked to pay. And there was a lot more people on Sunday because they rescheduled everyone from Saturday to go on Sunday. Yeah. At the same time.
So we got there at 9 a.m. You can have like a couple different kayaking tours. There's 2 3-hour tours. We did one of them. One goes to the Miner's Castle, and the other one kind of goes through like a couple more Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore locations. And then they have like an all-day tour that you can do. And so we get there. We patiently wait. They get us on all the buses. They bus us down to Miners Beach because there's a commercial input,
commercial use, parking,
location.
And all this.
Yes. So get us down to Miners Beach. We get off of the bus, and they're handing us what are called skirts and life jackets. Trevor somehow picks up 2 skirts. They don't say a word
all right,
to him.
So they tell us, they say, go ahead and grab a skirt and put it on and then grab a life jacket. So I grab a skirt out of the bin, and then the guy goes, here, take this. Wow. And hands me another one. And I'm like, okay. So now I have 2. And then some other lady goes, oh, no, you only need 1 of those. And I'm like, okay. So I put one back. And I've never put on a skirt before, right? So, like, Riley and I
Trevor
are
doesn't
very...
wear skirts.
Funny. So... Riley and I are very outdoorsy. We've gone kayaking more times than I can count. I've never been in a kayak that required me to put one of those skirts on.
So the reason why the skirts are required and what Lake Superior requires of kayaks are the longer and taller kayaks, because you need to be able to surpass waves that get up to like 5 feet.
Right.
It gets crazy out there.
And so like the waves get crazy, but like the day we were there on Sunday, like it was like very calm, which is like abnormal is what they said. So they still make everyone like put a skirt on and everything, but I'm like, there was no direction. There was nobody showing you how to do it.
They were just standing and staring at us.
It was the guys kind of just like sitting there saying, grab a skirt, grab a life jacket, get a paddle.
Put on a skirt. And they're fully geared
and they're
up.
like equipped already. So
I
there's
can't
no one...
see how to put the skirt on.
Yeah, and they're like, oh no. Like, put the skirt on first and then the life jacket.
Because I put the life jacket on and they yell at me. And then I go, okay. So then I try to put the skirt on. And I put it on upside down somehow. Because no one, again, is showing me.
No one's showing us. And I have no clue.
No one's saying anything. And they were like, that's wrong. And I go, okay.
How do I do this?
What do I do? And so finally figure it out. It's like overalls, basically. So you put it on like an overall. And then it's open on the bottom like a skirt. So it's like if you had an overall skirt dress thing. And you wear that, and then you put your life jacket on and you zip it up. I'm kind of shocked. They never once checked anybody's life jackets if they were properly on, because you have to tighten the side straps. Your life jacket does nothing if you're gonna just slip out of it.
Right. Like they didn't check anybody's anything. I feel like they were just like telling Riley and I like, oh no, you do this and then this, because we were the only ones asking like, okay, then how do I do it?
Yeah.
And then they would actually tell us. But
So
I was just like, come on. Like there are definitely people here who have never been on the water before.
100%.
And they're not getting the help they need. Like I can figure it out. Like it's fine.
it's safety, and that's the reason why we have any of that gear,
Right.
is because we need to be safe, and I will be stickler on that all day long. It was just crazy because there were families there were adults there, and a whole mixed bag, and not one person was like checking life jackets, making sure you're equipped right, yada yada, especially when the lake can be so dangerous.
Right. Like, luckily, we were there on a day where the water was calm and it wasn't dangerous. So, eventually, whenever we got down to the water, they told us, like, we don't even have to, like,
Put the skirt
tie ourselves with the skirt onto the boat.
And that basically, like, seals from water getting into the boat. So you're, like, preventing water infiltration as you're kayaking along.
Right. So, eventually, like, we get all of our stuff, we get our paddle and everything, we head down to the water. And they put us in this group with a guide. And eventually, we get down to the water. He's, like, giving us the rundown. And he's like, did they give me 2 extra people? He's like, I've never had this many people in a group before. And so someone radios down to him. He's like, hey, Adam, like, take, like, 2 guys from your group and, like, give them to, what was our guide's name? I forget.
Olivia? Katie? I don't know.
No. I forget. Anyway, so they were like, all right, well, he's like, I don't want to be the bad guy and pick someone to go. So we're going to draw straws.
Oh, and I knew I should have just volunteered because, like, all the other adults in the group were just not vibing with the idea of changing group. And I'm always the first one to volunteer for something like that. And I didn't because I was like, I don't think Trevor would be happy.
I didn't want to. I did not want to. I wanted to have the guide that we were originally assigned.
He was cool.
And so I was like, all right, Riley, go ahead and you can draw the straw. So Riley draws the straw. She's the second person to go. And she draws easily the shortest one.
Yeah, I drew the shortest.
And I'm like, all right, well.
It was great.
There
Thanks.
it goes.
Bye.
So we ended up getting put with this group of all college students.
Studying at the University of Pittsburgh.
Who are there for, like, environmental something.
Yeah.
And so
I walk up, and one of the professors has a Pitt hat on, and I go, oh, do you guys go to Pitt? And they all just stare at me.
And I was like, literally none of you are going to respond.
Not a single one responded to me.
And
I just knew that they went to Pitt because the professor had a Pitt hat on, and they said they were all here for a class.
They're all like, it was all girls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was all girls, like, the professor with them, and, like, literally none of them answered. And they're just staring at us.
I was like,
I was like, what group did we just get put in?
I'm sorry for asking a normal question.
And so then eventually...
It was that Gen Z stare, baby.
Yeah, and so I didn't know what that was. Like, I didn't know what the Gen Z stare was, even though I am in Gen Z.
I've never had that happen to me.
Yeah, and so, like, after the tour and everything, Riley was like, that's what the Gen Z stare is. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So it was just really funny. So, like, once we eventually got on the water and everything, like, one of the girls was like, yeah, we go to Pitt. And so, like, we were like, okay. Like, I'm glad someone said something.
And they were very into because it was for an environmental studies class, so, like, very into, like, the rock formation. So it was cool to be in their group because they were talking about all the stuff that was around us. So we definitely learned way more than we would have if we were probably in the first group. But it was awesome. For the money that we paid for the kayaking trip, I definitely think we got our money's worth some capacity. Mostly.
I probably wouldn't pay that much again.
I think doing it once would be worth it.
If you would have done the all-day tour, it would have been worth the money. Because it was, like, not as much more for, like, the 5 hours more you would have been kayaking.
Yeah.
So, like, we were only kayaking for 3 hours, which was not a lot of time for, like, the amount of stuff that you can cover along Pictured Rocks. So, if we would have done the 8-hour tour, 100% worth it. If you're only doing the 3-hour tour, I personally don't think so. But I'm also cheap, and I don't like to pay for stuff, so...
Yeah. It was beautiful, though. If you go to Pictured Rocks, you have to go see it from the water. I think is probably what I'm trying to say.
I agree. So I think what I would do is, if you're short on time, do, like, the boat cruise.
Yes.
Because the cruise, you go see all of it, and I don't know I can't speak to how long that actually is, but I would imagine, like, that's real quick. You can see everything, still the same view on the water. So I would highly recommend doing that.
I agree. I definitely gotta go see it from the water. It's just like, you can't pass that
Right.
up.
That's why I was like, we need to go kayak, and I wanted to reschedule it because I was like, we need to see this view from the water. And it was cool being on the water, like how green and blue it is. Like, even just, like, putting your hand in and feeling how fresh it was.
I was just, like, arms in the water, Trevor's kayaking behind me.
Yeah, so all the boats for this kayaking tour are tandems. So, like, every boat is 2 people. So most of the time I was like, Riley, just chill, I'll paddle. So Riley's just, like, hanging out, and I'm paddling the whole time.
It was great.
Yeah, it was a good time. And, like, we got to, like, kayak through, like, some caves. Not, like, through caves, but, like, into caves and, like, come back out and stuff like that. So it was really cool.
Saw a shipwreck. I don't know if I actually ever saw it.
I didn't really see the shipwreck, but our GoPro underneath
Our GoPro
saw
did.
it. So indirectly we saw it.
Yeah.
But
I just was looking and I'm like, looks like water to me.
yeah. So it was cool.
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
The lakeshore itself is just, wow.
And so after kayaking, it was around 12:30, and we had an 8.5-hour drive back to Ohio.
Woo.
Which honestly, like, we just like grind out our drives. Like we stopped maybe once.
We got home at 9:30. We did it.
Yeah, we stopped once for gas, and then we'll stop like for dinner, and then gas again if we need to.
Yeah.
So like we only stop 2 times usually, and we did it. You know, only 2 stops. We stopped for gas once, stopped for dinner, made it home before 10. We stopped
for another pasty at a spot I just would not recommend because it was
yeah. Yeah, it was meh. So I'm not even going to mention it because it was just meh. If you're going to get a pasty, go to Mole Dunes in Munising. That's the best one.
That is the best one. And with that, from a Thursday night to a Sunday evening, 9:30, rock and rolling home, we managed to explore Michigan and the Upper Peninsula with 1 day of PTO.
And that's how you do it.
Overall, I would 100% go back to Michigan.
I would go back to Michigan for sure. I would definitely change some of the things we did, as you've heard throughout this. But I think Pictured Rocks for sure is worth going to. I know that group of students we were kayaking with said they were going to Isle Royale National Park afterwards. That's also somewhere I've never been that's supposed to be really pretty and have a lot of wildlife. So if you're into that, have time to do that, you could definitely check that out too.
Best time to go, 100% late summer into fall. I think seeing the trees there with the leaves.
Yeah, seeing the trees there has to be beautiful.
Beautiful. Obviously, the weather changes, but August, we went the first kind of weekends of August, and that was perfect.
Yep.
Water was perfect.
Temperature was perfect. Weather was...
Besides the rain, which is expected, it was great.
Yeah, I had a great time. So
I enjoyed it. Can't complain. And maybe we can go see Traverse City in the winter.
Oh, man. And get pounded with snow.
Snowmobile, baby.
Yeah, it is what it is. But, all right, that's all. Bye.
Bye.